Hi, I'm Henry from Van Welch's Garden Center, and welcome to the last week of Perennial of the Week. Our featured plant this week is going to be asters. And asters are going to go into the theme of fall plants that'll be great for fall gardening. And asters are a really nice plant for the fall garden. I think they're one of the biggest workhorses for the fall garden. And asters are going to come in shades of purples, blues, pinks, whites, and you know, you can get them anywhere from being short plants all the way up to taller 5-foot plants, depending on the variety that you choose. The one I'm standing next to right now, these are Woods Purples asters, and Woods Purple is going to top out around 15 inches in height, and it's a great one to grow in the garden. I find that they tend to be more disease resistant, they tend to be quite vigorous, and they give you a great bloom year after year. Another incredible bloomer for the fall is going to be this Montauk daisy, and I'm sure this is one that everybody's seen. It's going to bloom in October going into November, and it's going to have your typical white petaled, yellow center daisy flower to it, but the great thing is obviously it's going to bloom late in the season, and it'll actually hold up against a few frosts and continue blooming until we get a real hard freeze that'll knock it out. Now you can do one of two things with this plant. You can let this plant get large, which you can actually get very large, easily 4x4, or you can actually cut it back a couple times and keep it a little shorter, a little bushier in the garden. Either way you grow it, it's going to be a very easy plant for you to grow. It's going to be deer resistant in the garden, and it combines with all the other things that'll bloom in the fall garden, like the asters, like ornamental grasses, and some of the other plants as well. Another great short plant for the fall garden is going to be this perennial plumbago. And what's nice about perennial plumbago is that it's one of the few plants for the garden that's going to have almost a true blue flower to it. And that true blue flower is going to bloom from July into the late summer, into the fall, even right till frost. But what's going to be nice is that as we get more into fall, you're going to get more and more red highlights in the foliage on this plant. And the blue flower off the red highlights of the foliage is absolutely phenomenal in the fall garden, whether it be in the ground as a great little border plant, or you can even use this as a container as well, because in a container it'll actually spill over the side a little bit, but it's going to be a long blooming plant for the fall garden, and it's another one that's very easy to grow in the fall garden. Hey, obviously one of the most popular and most recognizable of all plants in the fall garden is going to be sedum. Sedum's been around for a long time. Probably everybody's had this in their garden. Everybody's parents, grandparents had this in their garden. And you know why? Because it's one of the great fall bloomers. These great, huge broccoli-like heads of pink flowers are just going to stand out, and they look so good with ornamental grasses and black-eyed Susans and asters and so many of your other late summer fall blooming plants that how can you not add a couple of them to the fall display. Now this particular variety I'm standing next to here is one called Neon, and Neon's one of the varieties I really tend to like because Neon's got one of the strongest pink colors of any of the sedums out there. It's almost electric pink. It stands out so much. Now keep in mind with your sedums, you do want to grow these in the full sun. They don't like to be shaded at all, or else they'll tend to lean a little bit in the shade or not grow very well. And you can also use a lot of these sedums for containers as well, especially bigger containers. These hold up wonderfully, and a lot of times they will overwinter in the container as well. Hey, if you're gardening for the shade, you're not totally left out. You know, there are things that will bloom in the fall shade garden, and one of the perfect ones would be these anemones right here. Anemones are going to be about 3 feet in height. They're going to handle filtered light, partial shade. They will even do full sun if you want to grow them in full sun as well. But however, they are going to be a great plant to give you some fall shade color. They're going to range from white to various shades of pink, but also there's going to be single and double forms of flowers. And basically double forms basically means there's going to be a lot more petals in the flower. Now anemones, once established, are very easy to grow, and they actually will colonize in an area of the garden. So you do want to give them a little bit of room in the garden, but for a fall shade garden, it's going to be one of the perfect plants to go with. Another great native shade plant that'll bloom in the fall is going to be this chelone or turtle head. And this is going to get flower heads on it that are going to look very similar to like a snapdragon. And this is going to bloom August, September, even a little bit into October. It's going to form over time a pretty good clump. It slowly spreads in the garden, so it's not something you're going to find in 20 different places. This is a real easy one to grow, and planted in large groups, do like 5 to 7 plants in a group, this is really going to stand out and give you a great show in the shade fall garden. Hey, thanks for watching our Perennial of the Week series this year. Hopefully you got a lot out of it, as much as we enjoyed making it. And don't forget, too, that there are other great annual items that go really well in the fall garden or fall containers. You know, things like mums and annual fountain grass and cabbage and kale. All these things can help enhance either the perennials that you've put in for fall, or you can use these 4 containers to make your fall a little brighter and better. I'm Henry Van Wilgen's Garden Center. Thanks for watching us. Come down soon.